We return! Ha 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 ha! We have successfully rolled a very good engagement roll to get to make our way into the belly of the beast, as it were. But unfortunately, I can't narrate anything until you've all narrated your getting dressed sequences. Like, that's not gonna what does it look like as you all prepare to go to a gold class booking of live adventure theater?
Who's going first?
I have some thoughts if you want that, but I can also not.
You can start. Let's start with you.
Yeah, okay. So normally, I'm trying to remember what the fuck I've described in the past. Like, normally Val wears like a fairly casual, like, white suit, right? But like, none of that tonight. None of that tonight. So she's got a suit on again, but like a very, very well-tailored, very nice suit. And it is textured slightly, and it is like a very dark gray, charcoal, like black color. And it's like, you know those buildings they have in Japan where they burn the sides of them to help fireproof them? And it develops that weird, like, scaling like, the suit kind of looks like that in terms of its texture and its color. And then, it's all, like, very, very clean lines and very, very, like, sharp angles, like, at the elbows and, like, at the shoulders. And yeah, she's got these, like, incredibly, like, shockingly white gloves that, like, practically glow from within with their own light. And then, her hair is, like, styled up in, like, a mohawk. And then she's given herself, like, a side shave. So she's rocking, like, the queer, like, lady undercut look. And, yeah, really, really rocking lipstick game. Really good eyeliner. That's me.
Sick.
Nice. So I'm just getting a link here. So Shard obviously is in their drift chair, so they are seated. They're wearing kind of this cool tails, like hat top and tails kind of outfit, but like it's like this weird kind of amalgam between it, like a full like a normal tails and like a long floor length gown where the leg is split open, but like, so it's like a tails on one side that covers like one side like a skirt, and then the other side is like dress trousers. And there's like a big cummerbund, silk cummerbund that's shifting. It's got like kind of very, very techno looking shifting patterns. The tails itself, let me see if I can find this link here that I can post in chat. Looks like this kind of thing. Ooh, I gotta find this link. Here we go. This kinematics dress is what this looks like.
I think I know
for everyone.
What you're.
And they also have jewelry on from this same designer, like along the same lines of the same designer. So for anyone that wants to take a look around that website, they have like this.
That's just all the stuff you're wearing.
Yeah, all this. Everything looks like this kind of like nervous system based kind of jointed design that's like almost like plastic, but it's not really. It kind of flows like fabric, but it looks like plastic. And everything's very angular and geometric and kind of like.
That's cool as heck.
Looks like a nervous system. Basically,
I love it.
So it's like a top and tails, and the cummerbund has a big kind of. It's almost like a LCD screen. There's like things like kind of like nature scenes, like shit phasing in and out.
That's so cool.
And then like a big kind of necklace that's like just one color, but kind of looks like lichen, like from a tree. It's kind of like white, but everything else can change color on request. But yeah,
that's rad.
So good. I think Sleepy has an idea for a fantastic dress, so I think I'll go next, and then we can like finish on like Sleepy's fantastic.
You want to make
dress.
me do?
Yeah.
You're gonna go next.
I'll go, and then we can finish up with yours because mine is not going to be anything as spectacular as the above described things. yeah, I think we see Aula in her room, getting ready in front of the mirror, and she has a tuxedo, like a fairly standard one. It fits her very well, but it's like it's quite minimal. It has, that sort of thing where the collar of it is like a really shiny, silky fabric, but it's all just sort of black on black. I think she has a tie that is like a kind of really super shiny and slightly like holographic silver. So like it sort of is a slightly different color depending on like the angle, and yeah, really kind of like luminescent, like moonlight. And but the main thing that she is spending time on is her hair, because to sort of refresh visual memory, Aula is like as far as like facial structure and like skin tone, maybe like Arabic in heritage, but has like bleached blonde hair. And so she is like styling it up into like this big what do you call those, where it's like a quiff. Thank you. Yeah, so it's like short on the sides and then like really really big and like puffy on the top. So that's like the thing that she's just doing, like very very carefully and painstakingly, like fixing her hair.
Rad.
Okay. To understand what Sleepy's clothing is, you have to understand what it's not. Yes?
I have a question, and I feel like I should ask it first because it might influence you.
Okay.
Are you bringing Angela as a date? Because if so, you will also have to describe her outfit.
Should I? Do you think this is necessary?
Might get her in danger.
I like the idea of Sleepy running around to our rooms and asking each one of us what we think.
Can you make an extra fake ticket for Angela? Should I call her? Do you think she'll want to come?
Yeah, and Val is like, I think being with the people you love is important.
And I say, I think... Yes, exactly. When you ask me, I'm like, I don't want her to get killed.
Shad says that this kind of responsibility cannot be on them, but sure, if you help them zip up their suit, then they will sure, they'll make an extra ticket. Why not?
Yeah, Sleepy will absolutely help you with your outfit suiting up needs. Yeah, so I guess she'll call Angela, and Angela comes in wearing like something that is like not exactly like super dressed up for her, but like she doesn't exactly dress down the same way normal people do. So it's like a white gown, but it's got an overlayer that's made like entirely out of like glittering like gold like teardrops that just go down the whole length of the thing and like shimmer. And so she's got this kind of like glow that's even more so than her normal aura when she comes in. And again, like for Sleepy's outfit, like you need to understand that like it's not so much the outfit as much as like what it's not, like what she like normally wears is like ripped up shorts over ripped up leggings, and she's got like an oversized sunflower eating machine hoodie, and her like hair is like not usually done. So like usually when like she's like, when you imagine her like curled up and sleeping in somewhere, like she's like bundled up into her clothing, you could mistake her for a piece of the background. So like when she comes down the stairs from her room, like in her dress, like it's like a marked change. Like she's wearing this jet black black like backless number that like with the one leg slit all the way up to the hip, so it like really shows off her legs. And then she has her hair like immaculately coiffed, so she has like her long hair pulled up into like this super high ponytail that's like all wavy and curly, and she has like the accessorized jewels and like jewelry and like really like overly done eyeshadow, which is not something she usually goes in for. So she looks like a completely different person. She goes from that like messy kind of like outrun like thing to like she should be doing like some kind of perfume ad.
I like the idea of Sleepy taking so long to get ready that we're all waiting in the bar. And so like we all, like you dramatically come down into the bar because that's obviously where the stairs end.
It's like there's like a beat of like Val confused, not recognizing this person, and then her face just lights up and she starts applauding.
And all the kobolds go quiet.
She's like significantly taller because instead of chucks, she's wearing like the platform heel.
That's so good.
So yeah, I think we see the four of you like wandering into like walking in a line through the fancy foyer of the like gold class restricted area for the NetFox entertainment facility. And like towards the big, I think they have like a big like silk banner that's been like printed on with to say, you know, to say like the night's event, which is you know, and it's like on every night, but like, you know, they're like got tonight's main event, like live adventure theater, and yeah, there's the four of you. Did you want to describe Angela's dress, or did you want me to, Bridget?
We already heard about it. That's the one with all the teardrops.
Oh, that's the one with the teardrops. Yes, of course. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
I got distracted. Well, I got distracted by your... Yeah, anyway.
So dazzling, it made you forget everything I had just said.
Yeah, exactly. No, and yeah, and so like as we're walking in through like the lush red carpet and all these sorts of things, you're escorted to your private box. I think the gentleman that escorts you he's very icy in his like fancy tuxedo, but he takes you to the private box and, you know, is like, can I get you any drinks or refreshments? And like down below there's just this like huge stadium with like, except instead of like grass or anything, there's just like a steel panel floor. It's like, the show will be beginning in 25 minutes.
Shard whispers to them all that drinks are complimentary, because I don't think that's necessarily clear to everyone.
Yeah.
It's just like, by the way.
Yeah, because I think I was definitely like hesitating and kind of
Yeah, everyone's just like awkwardly kind of gonna pay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, like Sleepy like wants to commit to the personas that we've created, but like she doesn't quite understand like what you would do in high society, because it's not like she like goes out into these things all the time. So she orders like the most expensive drink she's ever heard of, regardless of whether or not it's appropriate for an event like this.
Yeah, and I think he's like, I can have that brought to you shortly. However, I will advise that the grenadine that we have in stock is not of the highest quality.
And then like Sleepy is like, oh, what would... So she like starts to apologize, and then she's like, fine.
Yeah, he's like, I'll fetch one for you shortly, and looks around like to anyone else.
I order a whiskey.
Yeah, and he's like, I think he just like nods, like doesn't ask any follow-up questions, and like you see him be like,
that is fine.
Yeah, you can see him be like, yeah.
Ethanol.
Okay. Sorry, go on.
Ethanol and some brie and some lutefisk.
Yes, of course. And you see him just being like, oh no.
He starts sweating.
Yep.
Shard just orders something with bubbles and energy. That's all they're interested in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think it's got to be explosives. It's got to be the suggestion from chat. He's like, one crystal Pepsi coming right up.
Shard's just like, yeah, fine, whatever.
Yep, cool. All right, so yeah, he disappears, and you're left with the like, I mean, there's got to be a like, there's got to be like a little bit of like
the pre-show, right? Like,
well, to start with, there's like a little bit of like tinkling piano just left in the box, just playing, and then yeah, I think
I like the idea of it glitching out every so often, just like really shoddily.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like
it's a looped recording, and the like matching at the end isn't quite perfect. So
yeah,
there's, like,
it's
a half
exactly
second
that.
skip.
Yeah. So then, yeah. After a few minutes, he like I think he arrives and brings you your drinks, and I think he like brings all of the refreshments, and like I think he says specifically to Val, I hope the lutefisk is up to your expectations, and like bustles the way out of the door, and you're like, and like yeah, and then like the pre-show officially starts.
So Val like slams the ethanol, right? Just like all of it, and then just takes the brie and the lutefisk and just tips it onto the floor under her chair, and we just like catch like one of Filth's little antennas, just like.
That's so terrible. I love it. So yeah, I think what happens is down in the like stadium itself, a huge pink bloated fleshy orb of a creature with like little whiskery tentacles and little and like I think like big sad eyes, but like recessed into this like fleshy lump of a giant. Well, it has a giant head, and then and then like which is like balanced on this like squat, sturdy body that and it makes its way out, and it like holds its arms up as like ta-da, and everyone applauds, and then it goes over and sits itself in like a little box at the far end of the stadium, and like places its hands on its temples, and immediately the like whole place just like lights up with I think it's initially like a beautiful like meadow with a single tree in the center, a single I think it's got to be an oak tree, a single oak tree in the middle of it, and like wildflowers and you know, long grass, and there's just like this like gentle breeze like blowing through the whole stadium suddenly as this like tree and the meadow are just there. And so yeah, and I think there are like butterflies going about, and I think the door that like I think next to where the like bloated psychic conductor came in, like there's like the sound of like chains clanking of like dunk as like a portcullis raises, and two children like run out into the field with like with nets, like butterfly nets, and as they're going, they and as they come out and they start like chasing all of these butterflies with butterfly nets, and then one of them catches a butterfly, and you see just above the whole thing just a thing like these two numbers appear, like 0 and ding 1, and like and then you notice that there's another section there that says time remaining like 1 minute 30, and it's counting down. And so yeah, as it's like counting down, and these two children are like frantically trying their best to catch as many, like suddenly the context has shifted, and you realize just like the fear in their eyes as they're frantically trying to catch these butterflies, and they're like and you know they're chasing them, and it gets up to like 2-2, and it's down to like the last 10 seconds of like happy butterfly chasing in a field, and then one of them like climbs up the tree and like jumps out of the tree to catch a butterfly, and lands hard on the ground, and like the whole crowd hears the sound of like a bone crack or something. But the thing goes ding, 3, and the child is like, yes, and like and the other one like starts crying, and they both get escorted off, but but like one of them gets the one that like the like 3 gets escorted, the one that got the higher score gets escorted back the way they came, and the other one gets escorted somewhere else.
Also, as a side note, I think before we left the bar, I would have asked the kobolds to keep a watch on our unconscious friend and given them my phone again.
Sounds great. That is good flashback. Well done.
Cool. So y'all are on your own. I'm going to go rescue that poor child.
No, no, Val.
I can just imagine Val like leaping over the edge of the box, and like it just happens too fast for us to say anything.
It's not that like blatantly stupid. I think it's more like just like once it becomes clear, like the kids like start walking off in the directions they're going, and the next time the camera turns to a shot that should have Val in it, Val's chair is just empty.
Wow.
I'm not just gonna let them torment kids, Emily.
We're going to do. That's the next part of the process, Val.
No, the plan is to rescue the weird old lady from the. There are children here being tortured, and that's wrong.
Now you're just playing you.
No, I'm not. Val has a very simple black and white like understanding.
When does she not even talk to me though?
You're the one who said that when you have good intentions, sometimes consent doesn't matter.
Hey.
No, I think you're right. So, let me roll back.
Sure thing.
It becomes clear what is happening. The two kids are going in different directions. Val grabs Aula's arm and just looks at you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the look says like all the things that it needs to.
Yeah. I think I say to Val, I nod and I look like very concerned, and I say, "Yeah, this may be more than reconnaissance. We might need to be getting more people out than we thought. But we need to watch and see who else is here."
Yeah, I think she like nods reluctantly and settles back into her chair.
And I'm like, we will help. We will definitely help.
Yeah, and I think like the next shot we get of Val, we perhaps notice that she's not wearing her gloves anymore. She's just like carefully keeping her hands away from touching anything, but she is not wearing her gloves at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah.
I'm guessing the rest of us didn't necessarily hear that conversation, but we may notice that Val is not wearing gloves.
And I think like I would, if I'm sort of on, if like I am imagining that Val is like on one side of me and maybe Shard or Sleepy is on the other side of me, and like after that exchange, I would turn to one of the others and kind of like give everyone else sort of a similar like significant look to like what Val gave me, and say like, this could become a bigger operation than we thought.
Shard, ever the pragmatist, points out that it might be better to aim to shut the entire thing down rather than rescue 2 children. We're only seeing one night of action.
Yeah.
This happens every night. There's no way they can use the same people every night, all night. So we may need to be smarter and more patient.
either I will pass that back to Val, or Shard is saying it in a way that Val can hear. Like, if I think that Val can't hear that, I will pass it on to Val because I think that's very wise.
Val is clearly thinking on this situation.
Like, Val definitely hears you saying those words. The extent to which communication is achieved, I'm not sure.
And I think, like, yeah, I think I say to Val as well, I'm like, Val, if we try to rescue some kids and it goes badly, which is very likely, we might get other people killed. We might get out, and I like lower my voice and I'm like, we might get our friends killed. We might all just end up back in NetFox, and then we haven't rescued anybody and we've just made everything worse.
But if we don't try, what's the point of doing anything?
Of course, I don't. Of course, we'll try. That's not.
We're definitely going to do something. We're not going to do nothing. Shard takes a very like kind of teacherly tone. It's not particularly caring, but it is very to the point.
Overhead, a dragon shoots fireworks out of its mouth, making colorful like illuminations of like stars and then planets, and then please remember to turn off your cigarettes.
Of course.
That's the concern. Okay.
I'm waiting intently and watching to see whether we see anyone who either looks like the physical form of our sleeping friend or is otherwise similar in appearance to Shard, because that was sort of the only like, indicator that we had of what they might look like.
That sounds like surveying.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think Aula would know the dream, like what.
True. Yes, I'm looking.
Dream, right?
Yeah, that's true. I'm also looking for whoever I saw in the dream. Although that was like, was I seeing out of the eyes of the person, or was I seeing
the person that you saw get crushed was not anyone that you recognize,
and was not the haver of the dream?
No.
Okay, so I didn't see them. Okay. Alright, so yes, I'll just look for anyone who resembles Shard in any way.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So, survey, we said?
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, maybe is it possible to get Shard's help on this? If you have any tension. I don't know if you have tension. Okay.
Doesn't have any.
That's fine. Alright, let's just have a go.
You can fight if you wanted.
Oh, no. No. Not good.
Rough. Yeah. No. So I think it's not until they are like stood up on a platform for having been performing all night and not being killed, right? Like there's like a thing of like survivors and like, you know, these are the winners for tonight, right at the end of the thing, when you spot the one that that you recognize as being quite similar looking to the person that you have in the club, in the bar. And I think that they're wearing like a Xena warrior princess style like leather fighting outfit that is not actually very practical, but you know, like does like, you know, have some element of armor. I think you recognize that they were the ones earlier that that had been given like a sword and a shield and like maybe a spear to go and fight against like old Chicago gangster style like mobsters who were like shooting at them with Tommy guns out of like cars and things. And yeah, they managed to like kill all the imaginary gangsters, and so they got to go back into the like place that they came from. Whereas like someone else was just riddled with holes and was just left to disintegrate with the rest of the scene at the end.
Yes, there's definitely something non-physical about these actors. Okay.
But yeah, so now it's like the closing ceremony. Here are the winners for this week's, you know, equivalent to Survivor, right? Like, and yeah, you're like looking at this person, and I think they meet your eye and say something, like not to anyone, just their mouth moves as they like spot you in the box seat.
And do they look like? Are we recognizing them because they do look like?
They look
Shard?
physically similar, yes. Not like Shard. They look physically more. I mean, yes, in a part they look like Shard. They look almost identical. I mean, they look identical to the person.
To the body. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I wasn't sure whether.
Yeah, no, they look identical to that person. So
to the sleeping.
Except maybe a little younger.
That's worrying. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, they lock eyes with you, and then you see them like saying something with their mouth words, but you don't hear what it is because they're not like mic'd up.
How have they recognized us? That's so strange. I think I say that too. I like say to the others like I point them out and say I think that's our friend or the other half of our friend, but I don't know how they're recognizing us. Also, it seems, based on that one that died, that maybe all of these people's real physical bodies are somewhere else.
I think at the end of the ceremony, I think like they go back into the thing, and I think they say that like it comes up with the thing saying no persons were harmed in the making of this production. Like as like a formal warning.
Otherwise, yeah. I have a question. Is there any after party or anything at this venue?
Okay, so that closes, and I think there would be like the bar would be open for a while afterwards. But I think that would be about the limit of like the formal things. But I think after the like that final message and like the credits start rolling, you know, the like dragon is like projecting down credits in like the all of the like messages and things are all like from dragons. So like yeah, they're like they let you know that like your conductor for tonight was like Calva Gurjad or something like ridiculous and weird. And then as this is going on and that like piano music is picking up again, you hear like a gentle like knock 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 and like a and the like person who the butler that like ushered you in, the usher, that's the word I wanted. The usher is standing there with his like steely icy eyes, and he's like, you have someone is here to see you. What do?
I mean, I guess we should see them.
Yep. I guess we just...
Mr. Camden Murdoch?
Fuck, maybe not.
Listen.
Or maybe.
If he comes into the booth...
We will murder him,
that
right?
means he's in melee range.
Yes, that is true. We will outright just murder him if he comes into the booth.
He clearly... I think we're all in disguise, right? So...
That was the intention. That was the part of the role.
Yeah, either he knows we're here, or he's just making the rounds because we're special.
True. In which case, let's not insta-murder him.
Yeah.
Not that we can have any of this conversation in character, but...
Either way, Shard is like, either way, he either knows we're here and we're in the shit already,
Mm,
or he doesn't know who we are, and we should act normal.
true.
I mean, we're not fancy people, but we'll pretend.
Yeah.
And I think I turn like to Val, and I say in the like most like apologetic but firm voice possible. Just stay calm. Keep your hands chill. Please.
Shard at this point pulls their dire rat out the back, who's also all fancied up, and like hands him out to Val as like an offering.
Okay, but what is the dire rat wearing?
Yeah, what is the dire rat wearing? That's like, this is the most important question right now.
Well, it's a
Tiny
it's a
suit.
dre-
Tiny suit.
It's a dress. It's a dress that
Tiny dress.
matches Shard's kind of like this technological kind of material, and it's like the same kind of material, and has a little top hat, like a tiny top hat.
Excellent. Good. I'm glad we've
And
established the
so
important details.
Shard thinks maybe this will keep Val's hands happy.
Hmm.
But they just hold.
I think Val like puts like her gloves like back on, and like takes the rat and like I think reaches down under the seat where there's still like a little like chunk of like little cube of disgusting 5-month underground fermented shark that filth missed, and just like feeds and like sets the dire rat on like the little arm of their chair, and just of her chair, and just like feeds it to him. And I think the audience can tell, though I don't know if any of your characters are, that she 100% doesn't mean it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, this is not a sincere promise.
Yep.
Ahem.
All right. Everyone act cool.
Shall I let him in?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
So yeah, a Triton man in a passably formal suit. It's you pretty clearly like it's both at the same time somehow worn at all the edges, but also like slightly dusty, as if not worn very often. But it's otherwise like, you know, a nice, like I think it's a pinstripe suit. His blue skin is blue toned skin is like flecked here and there with scales, like someone you know, in places where someone might get like might traditionally get acne. And he wanders in looking around. He's like, this is a lovely booth. Camden Murdoch, he says, holding his hand out to, I think, who's at the front? Who's like...
I think Angela's at the front.
Oh, yes, that would be great if it was Angela.
Yeah, of course, right, yeah.
Please, Angela.
I mean, yeah, Angela like introduces herself and says, and explains like, and explains that you know, it was a wonderful show and did you catch it and all these sorts of things. And he says, yes, it was a fantastic show. Those children in the pre-show really put in a solid effort. I'm very impressed.
Yeah. Cool. So like as soon as the words children leave his mouth, Val pegs their glass at his throat.
You intend to kill him?
No.
What's your intention? What do you want to happen?
Just to hurt him really badly.
All right.
So he can't scream for help.
Right. So you want to do that and also like reduce his ability to complain.
You could have just got me to shake his hand. God damn it.
Yeah, but that's not satisfying.
The way I want it.
You go first, Cherry. Sorry.
Can Shard interfere?
Yeah, can I interfere? Can we all interfere simultaneously?
Oh, if you,
I want to catch the glass.
What Val is gonna do is bad. You should wait and see what Sleep is gonna do.
Yes, Team
everyone.
Clique and Val.
We've got to work as a team. This is ridiculous.
If you
We
want to
also
spend,
have to not be on board with hypercapitalism and its worst excesses.
What
Why
I
would
was
you
hoping
accuse us of that?
Val would be closest to the door, slowly peel off her glove and extend her hand for the handshake.
That is
I was hoping
That
for.
is much better. If you're gonna do a murder, at least do it that way. But like,
I mean, like,
Then
that
you
is
can
not
stare
gonna be,
him in the eyes and tell him your name.
that's not gonna be clean, though. Like,
Who cares?
what do you mean? It's way cleaner than throwing a glass at him. Anyway, I'm gonna interfere. If that's what you're doing, I'm gonna try and catch this glass.
one of these things makes him not able to make any noise. The
Yes,
other
so
thing
just putting him-
slowly liquefies his body from the hand up.
So just putting him to sleep, like, just like if you're throwing a glass, I'm gonna catch the glass. Look,
Okay.
if you're not playing as a team, neither am I.
Okay.
all right. So Emily, you're spending attention to interfere.
Yes.
Is anyone
I will
else
do
also spending attention to interfere?
Sadly, I don't have any tension.
Do you spend attention to interfere, or
Yeah.
do you interfere and get attention?
No,
Yeah.
you can spend attention to interfere against the other person's will.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay. You get attention if they invite you to fuck it up.
Right.
Okay.
They have to
Consent is
invite you to-
important. So Luke, you've got -4
topical.
dice to your to this one.
I'm not interfering.
Oh no, sorry, -3. Because I'm spending I'm spending two heat to add
Yep.
negative dice.
Cool.
I could spend a negative, like spend one to like reduce your like outcome, but I'm not going to do that. It's more fun to just have it.
-3 in total?
-3.
Cool. Cool.
Please tell me you made it.
Hasn't rolled it yet.
I haven't rolled yet. This is the bit, right? This is the bit where, like, I start
You are
running.
wrecking from my perspective.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
just checking.
Right? Like, absolutely.
Yeah, wrecking the mission.
Wrecking
just our lives.
people?
The only way I'm going to
Final
wreck this mission is if I fail. You're interfering, Emily.
No, even if you succeed, what do you succeed at? Just like choking the guy for a minute?
We have him at our mercy, and we can
You
interrogate.
don't think he has some security system?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Ridiculous to think that he's just wandered in here being like, "I
he's just
wonder
some
what I'm doing."
unprotected dude. It's just like, come kill me. I'm a big
Hi,
man.
nice to meet you. Would you like to murder me?
Luke, what's your
I'm
wrecking
the
look
mayor
like?
from season 2
like-
of Buffy.
Luke,
Yes.
you rolling this wreck?
I would like to make the case that filth is helping me.
How?
I'm totally switching because, like, the instinctive reaction when a person throws a thing at you, right, is to like dodge back and down. And so filth is just like doing the old sitting like a footstool behind his legs trick.
Are you buying filth for doing something other than juicy secrets?
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Yes. And is there anything else that's going on here? No,
Bridges just left.
particularly.
Bridges just like, fuck this.
Yeah. It looks like, because no one can see the chat. No one can see the chat.
Yeah, no one.
Alright, so I was at -3, so that takes me up to -2.
You were at -3 and that brings you down to -2. Okay, yep.
Can I just enter that in bonus dice? How does this?
If the bonus dice is 0 or less, like, you just enter -3. It should work.
Okay.
Or -2, sorry. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he trips over filth
Well, okay, but my specific interference here is that I want to catch the glass before it
yes.
goes.
So you grab the glass. He backs away, trips over filth, and like
Sorry, why does he back away?
Because someone went to throw something at him.
Well, the point. Okay, so like I'm imagining that Val is like right next to me, so I'm literally like I'm just sort of like in, like it wouldn't go near him.
Right.
I feel like he could still flinch though.
Yeah,
He's still flinch, yeah.
Yeah.
So he throw things at you is frightening, even if nothing actually like. It's the reason you can fake people out with it. Like that.
Sure.
Yeah. So he falls backwards over filth and just like, Jesus fuck! What the fuck was that?
Yeah. Cool. I like hurdled the length of the room, and I get my fucking on him.
Wait,
Okay.
did he fall or did he just stumble when he tripped over?
He's on his back. He's prone.
Okay,
I think
so
we
when he
need to
falls
take-
on the ground, Sleepy steps on his neck.
Oh my god. Okay,
at this
I'm
point-
really. Oh, I'm so not on board with any of this.
We need to
But
sit.
at
We need to
this
take a
point,
step back.
At this point, I think we all need to get all in behind our teammates, or
Yeah, so let's step back and talk about like what kind of
Yeah.
story do we want to tell, because I feel like I understand like your intention, Luke, but it feels like you're putting your character ahead of the like. I think we're getting our circles of responsibility bit out of whack here. So I want to like take a step back and let's talk about like what do we want to get out of this scene? What are we as players liking and enjoying, and what are we not digging as far as like why do we want to do these things, and why do we want to not do them, and things like that.
Considering the time, we could leave this on a cliffhanger of like, you know, there is a very tense room, and then like between games we as a group can discuss like how we would
Yes.
like that, because that's probably actually not necessarily an interesting conversation for chat.
Yeah,
and
I
we
think
are up
it
for
would
time.
be interesting to me to model that for chat, but given the time restraints, I think that makes sense. But I want to like make sure that we're all like, I think we as a group, I think we'll finish up on that like cliffhanger. And then I think, so the we're like marking this for chat, we're going to do some aftercare afterwards and chat about like how we feel about things, so that we can make sure that we're all feeling okay. So that said, we do have an end of session thing to do.
Yes.
So let's do that.
That's different now.
It is different. It's now end of session instead of just like when a thing happens. So at the end of each session, gain 1 crew XP for each of the questions you answer yes to. Did you rep your crew type? Our crew type are whistleblowers, finding the truth, and
I
I think we made progress with that.
Yeah, we got some juicy information. That's step 1, just not step 2.
finding and spreading the truth. So I think you get one XP for that. Did you manage to avoid collateral?
we don't know yet.
Let's
far
assume that
within the
before,
session, yes?
I feel like yes. I think you did manage to avoid collateral
This
so far.
session, yes.
Yeah.
Because it could have gone really badly with the antenna, and it did.
Yeah.
Yes,
And it could have
that's
gone
true.
really badly walking into Netfox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
That's true. We did do so good getting the tickets and stuff.
Yeah, we nailed that.
Yeah.
Team effort.
Did you pull favors and flash gear?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we used one of our big devices, and then Shard
Yeah.
got us all that cool stuff.
Awesome.
Yep. And
and I have an awful
Owler,
cockroach.
Owler also used their
Yeah, the dream.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you hit your hard limits and vulnerabilities?
No, not mechanically. I don't think.
You didn't see much of it on screen. Did you bicker and pull together?
Yes.
Well, we bickered at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we did. We did. We
That
bickered
beautiful
and
scene
then
was down hour.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
it was
a
very nice.
we bickered and pulled together once.
Yeah.
And now we're back in the bickering too.
Now we're back in the bickering. Go team.
Did you put a ding in a corp?
Not yet.
not yet.
Not yet. Cool. So that's 4 XP?
Okay. Where should we record?
Should we just record it on the like
Oh yeah.
sheet
On
on the thing
yeah.
here?
Cool.
I'll get someone to do that for me. So, and I'm just checking to see.
Corbo is the name of the kobold boy.
Corbo is the name of the kobold. I worked it out in the
yeah.
end.
It was down on the sheet the whole time.
Yep.
Look at
Now,
that. Yeah.
The XP can also be spent from the crew to individual like players. So that's something that we can talk about off screen. I need to like look at that system and make sure it's really tightened up. So I will look at that. But in the meantime, let's do some shout outs. We'll do, so like plug whatever you need to, and then also do a recommend a non-capitalist thing of some kind. Let's start. Let's go in reverse order this time with Bridget.
Hey everybody, my name is Bridget. I DM games professionally for children. That's not true. Just hear it from my other podcast, Role Playing Public Radio. If you want to see stuff I've done, just go to actualplay.roleplayingpublicradio.com/tag/Bridget. You can see everything I've done. There's a bunch of other good games on there, especially if you're into horror. They do a lot of Delta Green and stuff like that. If you want to support me specifically, see stuff I'm working on, especially my podcast about me, go to patreon.com/BridgetFan. And the non-capitalist thing that I want to rep today is Rainfall. Lots of good stuff about Rainfall. 1, cool sound, very relaxing, big fan. 2, kind of fun to play in. So next time it rains, take full advantage of that.
Quality, very nice. Cherry, should we do some shout outs?
Yeah. I'm Cherry, or Cherry Ray, on Twitch and Twitter and most places. I am a accessibility advocate. I rant on Twitter about it, on Twitch, and I am speaking at Xbox in a week and a half on accessibility and representation in games. And yes, my non-capitalist thing is hot topic of the week because Detroit Become Human came out. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism. And
Yeah.
don't feel bad for enjoying problematic media, and don't pick on people for it. It's my anti-capitalist thing for the day.
Yeah, cool. Luke.
Hello, I am Luke. I am a game designer. You can buy games I've written at gamesfromthewildwood.itch.io, and you can read games that I'm working on patreon.com/gamesfromthewildwood. I have a podcast where we play Monster Hearts and other kind of queer, intimate, feelings-focused fiction-first games. You can find us on Twitter at feelingsfirst_. My non-capitalist plug of the day is making time for your friends. Because it can, like, it is not a cost-free thing, right? Like, you have to take time to do it, but it's really fucking nice.
Cool, excellent. Emily?
Hi, I am Emily. I am a filmmaker and an artist. You can follow me on Twitter at blackwallsays. Also, that is a good place to hit me up if you are looking to commission some art. I do portraits of characters, real or fictional. I do emotes for Twitch streamers. I do fantasy maps and things for games. I did one for Luke that we just finished, and it was a very fun time. Also, if you would like, you can support me on Patreon. Patreon.com/blackwall. On there, I also share some of my my dungeon maps and sketches and things. I'm going to finish up some sketches of Owler in the next week or so, and I will be putting them up on my Patreon. So if you want to subscribe for $1 a month, you can get access to all of my feed stuff. My non-capitalist thing. Actually, I have 2. The first one is it's really good to have check-in conversations with your friends and loved ones, and consider asking your friend, as Luke asked me the other day, what are the ways in which I have to get the right sentence here. What are the ways in which you understand love from me? So it is a very good thing to ask people, you know, what are the things that I do for you that make you feel cared for? Because sometimes those languages, for want of a better word, don't always line up, and it's really good to know whether your friend or loved one is understanding the things that you are trying to express, and vice versa. So that is a really good and valuable conversation to have, and it is very comforting. Also, I would like to plug candles, but more specifically, I would like to plug what our family refers to as encouragement candles. If you have a task that is maybe a little overwhelming or difficult, or you don't really want to do it, or you have to go to work for several hours and you are feeling unfocused, light yourself a candle. It doesn't have to be a fancy candle. And just remind yourself that while the flame is alight, you are doing this productive thing. And it kind of makes you feel like you have company, but like fire company. So it's a good time.
I'm a big fan of Fire Company. So I've been Ash. I've been your GM. You can find me at Acegiak, ACEGIAK, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, and Patreon if you want to support my ongoing work and get like early access to things like the latest versions of In Which We Live and Breathe, or my new pulpy treasure hunting tomb raiding game. So that's all up there. If you haven't already pressed the follow button, it's up in that corner up there. Go smash that, and you can make sure that you get alerted to when we're doing new games, when we're streaming. It's gonna be good. Also, I want to suggest street art. You should check out street art. Look at it, go, yes, that makes me feel a thing. Potentially make some street art. Just get some paint and paint on stuff, or like stickers. When we were teenagers, we used to glue like little army men and things and declare it to like walls of shops, and we would declare that street art. So, street art, it's good.
I used to paint the pavement.
Yeah, exactly.
With house paint.
Yes, yeah. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for joining us today, and we will catch you later. Bye.